How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope you guys are all having a great day. If you guys would, please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys do really enjoy it, subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, doing the biggest favor of all, make sure you guys hit the bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos or streams here on the channel. And as always, if you guys have any movies, TV shows, or games you guys would like me to cover here on the channel, please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, we are going to be talking about Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. No, we're not talking about the book. Instead, we were going to be talking about Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 1 that has just concluded on Disney+. And as a fan of the books, I'm currently rereading through them. Well, I read the first 3 when they came out. I never got a chance to read Battle of the Labyrinth and then The Last Olympian. I think that's what they are, Book 4 and 5. And obviously Book 6 just came out. But I read the first 3 when they came out, so I'm rereading them, not only in spirit of the fact that I now have all of the books as my own, instead of me just having to rent them from the library, but now I can, read the new ones that I haven't had a chance to read yet. So, happy about that. But, moving on, I am just happy to see an amazing new show on Disney Plus that's not Star Wars or Marvel Cinematic Universe related. And for the most part, I enjoyed the show. I do plan to get it on disc from like eBay or something in the future. I enjoyed it. Definitely a lot better than the movies from 2013 and 2017 respectively. I saw those movies twice. Once in theaters and then another time with friends. I don't have them, so I'm not going to review them. I do have a Percy Jackson playlist set up here on the channel, so if you've missed on anything that I have discussed or reviewed or done a reaction to when it comes to Percy Jackson, I will have all that stuff in there. And they have teased a possible Season 2, which of course would go into Sea of Monsters. If they do that, I will have all that stuff into that Percy Jackson playlist, so you guys will be able to find it all in there. So, Season 1 was 8 episodes, and I will be honest with you, the first negative is the fact that there's 8 episodes. And each episode is titled after a certain chapter from the book. Like, literally, episode 1 is the first chapter called I Accidentally Vaporized My Pre-Algebra Teacher. Okay, it's right there. And then, episode 2 jumps all the way to chapter 6. I become Supreme Lord of the Bathroom. Now, obviously, there's things in there from those chapters that haven't been mentioned. They do, for the most part, include elements of those chapters in the episodes. But, like, chapter 5, I play pinhole with a horse. That's not in the show whatsoever. So there's a lot of stuff that just gets either completely deleted as if though it never happened in this show, or it's extremely rushed. So a lot of this show feels rushed. I feel like this show needs these seasons to be like 12 to 16 episodes. Like, obviously in the books, there's things in it that makes no sense, like a talking poodle, or waterbeds that try to squeeze you and, rip you apart to death. And there's just things that they really gloss over or they just pretend don't exist. And I kind of want that, obscure, that crazy stuff that's really out there, that's really far-fetched, that makes the Percy Jackson books stand out from other fantasy genre-like books and movies and shows. There's a reason Percy Jackson is able to distinguish himself from like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, is because it has that weirdness to it. And if you take that weirdness out, you're just telling another Harry Potter-like story, basically. Now, this show isn't anything like the books. It does take certain liberties, and we'll discuss that stuff later in this review. But it does do a good job trying to stick closer to the source material than the movies from 2013 and 2017 did, respectively. I think the fact that this show has a more faithful adaptation of The Lightning Thief than the movies is the fact that the author is involved. Okay? The fact that Rick Riordan, I think is how you say his last name, sorry if I butchered it, but the fact that he is involved in the creative process of the show and giving tips and whatnot is great. The director and the cast are all fans of the books. They understand what the fans want, and that's clearly put on screen. And having the cast of Percy, Grover, and Annabeth being actually, age respective of what they were in the books, 12, 13, and, Grover's like 26. So, is he 26 or 36? Correct. Let me know in the comments. It's been a while. But I know he's like much older than Annabeth and Percy for sure. But the age group, the aging of the characters actually fits with the book. So I'm happy about that. And obviously with season 1, got a lot of traction on Disney Plus. So I'm hoping that Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, and Titan's Curse at least get an adaptation as a season. That'd be really cool. Obviously, the Chalice of the Gods would be kind of a interesting thing to see. Have a full 6 seasons. Obviously, there's been rumors that they're going to have a book 7 and 8 by the author, so that would be kind of cool. And it would just give us like a new Harry Potter style fantasy show to watch, where we get to see a main group of characters age with each season, kind of like what Harry Potter films did, and that would be really cool. Like I said, there are some small changes from the books, but there's nothing horribly bad. There's nothing in the show that they changed that's like offensive to me. I like the books, okay? I like The Lightning Thief. I think The Lightning Thief is a classic. But there are changes. Now, if you're a fan of the books and you watch the show and you nitpick every single minute detail, you're going to hate this show because it's not 100% accurate to the books. That's the thing with books being translated into films or shows. Even the Harry Potter films didn't do it perfectly. Lord of the Rings didn't do it perfectly. Hunger Games didn't do it perfectly. Maze Runner, Divergent, Twilight. Absolutely no book series has been 100% translated perfectly from book to screen, whether that's movie or TV show or even video game adaptation. Nothing is perfect. That's the beauty of a book, is that while it gives us certain details, it allows our own mental imagination to fill in some blanks. So, if you're a diehard Percy Jackson and the Olympians fan, you're probably not going to like this book. I'm sorry, you're not going to like the show compared to the book. I enjoyed it for what it was. Seeing certain things and aspects of it was really cool. Especially episode 4 when we get to go to St. Louis and have that St. Louis Arch battle. That was a highlight for me. Just seeing that, because the movie didn't have it, just seeing it in the show, I was like, yes! Or, episode 7 when we get to go to the killer waterbed shop and meet one of Percy Jackson's brothers. That was cool. That was great. Is it perfect? No, but just seeing that they're acknowledging that it exists was really cool, and I enjoyed it for that. This show is great for children's, and for the most part, if you're a general fan of the books, I think you're going to enjoy it. It's good for family-friendly entertainment. It's got, a mix of concepts about, heroes, power, friendship, family, discovering your place in the world, which I think is something everybody can relate to. The actor for Luke, I didn't think was a good choice. He just doesn't give that friend vibe, and he also doesn't give that vibe where it's like, okay, towards the end of the show, it's like, okay, maybe, I just don't think he did a good job casting for Luke. Not that the actor does a bad job, I just don't feel like he fits the role as friend that's going to become traitor and, be basically Kronos' servant and try to get Percy to become part of his group. I don't feel as if, though, the show did a good job making him go from friend to basically villain of the series. I don't think the show did a good job. I just didn't like it. Annabeth, now we're going to really talk about something that's going to probably piss people off in the comments, but here we go. I hate to break it to you, yo, but if you've read the book, okay, I'm holding the book. I've read it 4 times. Annabeth is white. Okay? I'm sorry, but Annabeth is white. And I do not care. I do not care that the author said, I cast you because you're going to fit the role of Annabeth perfectly. Now, race swapping for the sake of this is the only person that we could find to fit the role, fine. However, I want to let people know that have never read the books. Annabeth is white. Also, slight spoiler alert in case you guys want to know something interesting. In the future of the books, in the book series, moving forward, Percy and Annabeth get married. And, to top it all off, they have children. I'm not sure how that's going to translate so well into TV format, okay? I just don't see how that's going to work. Obviously, they could pull it off somehow. Now, the race swapping, if you're, like I said, a fan of the books, a diehard fan, it's going to piss you off. Me, it didn't bother me so much, but I just wanted to point that out there, that if you think that Annabeth was black in the books and that's why she's black in the show, no, wrong, sorry. Now, I don't care so much. I just care about the fact that do they do a good job in their role. Now, the actress that they picked for Annabeth, I think did a decent enough job. She's young, so her acting capability definitely could be improved upon, but I think she did a great job. Definitely did a better job than the actor that was cast for Luke. I do like that we finally get to see Half-Blood in detail with such details as the cabins for the gods, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing Camp Half-Blood in actual detail and a lot of humor. Episode 3 gave us Medusa. We get to see Medusa's backstory, proper backstory, kind of, adds other things that the book didn't give us, which I think was kind of cool. And most importantly, we get to see the testing of the loyalty and the power among Percy, Annabeth, and Grover. Like I said earlier, episode 4 gives us the excellent St. Louis Arch battle. Probably my favorite part of the entire show was episode 4. Episode 5, we get to go to Waterworld. They changed some certain things and they ripped things certain out. If you've read the book, there's supposed to be these like robotic angel demon thingies that shoot like arrows at them, and that's not in there, so that was kind of weird. Ares finally arrives. Guess what? Ares actually is in the book, yo! And he's in the show, unlike the movie. So we finally get to see Ares, the god of war. And we get to learn a moral about not becoming 100% like your parents and copying their mistakes. Episode 6, we get to go to the Lotus Casino. They change a lot of that around, but not as horrible as the 2013 movie. Episode 6 probably is my least favorite episode. It felt like a lot of filler content, a lot of filler dialogue, mostly just jokes and a lot of exposition dump that happened in episode 6. Episode 7 gives us the store with the killer waterbeds. We get the exploration of the underworld. We get to see who Hades is, Poseidon, a bunch of other revelations, epic plot moments, and it ended with the gigantic cliffhanger of Ares versus Percy. And then, of course, in episode 8, the finale gives us the Ares versus Percy duel. Loved it. Really great. Awesome. We get a bunch of epic scenes on Olympus, Kronos talking to Percy, the revelation that Luke was the lightning thief. They do it in a very gigantic different way, and even when they finish that revelation that Luke was the lightning thief all along, the aftermath of that shocking revelation kind of just doesn't matter as much. It doesn't have as great of an impact as it does in the book. And, I mean, everybody's talking about it in camp. Even Mr. D and, Chiron are talking about it. in the book, but in the show, it's just like, he's a bad guy now. Oh well, we'll see him next year. It's just like, I'm sorry, huh? It just kind of was weird. Also, in The Lightning Thief, Luke basically backstabs Percy with a scorpion, and they're just having a heart-to-heart moment. In the show, though, they have this sword duel, and it's like, I feel like they were like, well, we don't want to make it exactly a boring, tedious, just sit down backstabbing thing like it was in the book, but we don't want to have it be a gigantic CGI fest like it was in the 2013 movie. So I feel like they tried to come up with some sort of middle ground. It works. It just isn't as accurate to the book as I was hoping. The final episode of the season also does a great job tying up a lot of season one's plot threads and characters, but it also does a lot where it's not only being a satisfying conclusion to the story that we've had for this 8-episode run, but it also teases season 2, which would, of course, follow Sea of Monsters, which I would be very excited to see. So overall, guys, I think Percy Jackson and the Olympians Season 1 was great. If you're a fan of the books, you're going to enjoy it. Obviously, like I said, there's certain things that they changed around to fit in an 8-episode structure. I think this show would benefit from being 12 to 16 episodes at least. Get a lot more information in there, a lot more dialogue, and a lot of other source material from the books into the show. So with that, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video or stream. Bye, guys.